Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends, and another special feeding episode. This time we're going to be feeding a first in Monster Legends, a sane rabbit. I want you to think about that for a moment. This is a momentous occasion. Anyway, this is a fellow that I picked up in the Supervillains Hideout Maze. It was a limited path that showed up in the first weekend, and fortunately, I had the coins to pick him up. This, of course, is Rabbish, and Rabbish has also shown up with a lot of open ruin slots, in addition to his sanity. So let's find a nice place for him. Yeah, dude, sorry about that. Okay, that was kind of interesting. I can't wait to see what's happening there. All right, where is he? Oh, there he's hopping around there. Really cute. Right behind, yeah. Again, dude, I'm really sorry. We'll see what we can come up with in the future. Yeah. Anyway, again, this is Rabbish. He is a legendary. He is of the light. Of course, he is hardened. 20% chance of resisting those nasty effects. Of course, if he's on the other side of the battlefield, it's actually a 780,000% chance. Yes, I'm kind of bitter. Sorry about that, Rabbish. Anyway, his power is not so bad. His life is pretty good. It's a little bit over normal there. His speed is really good, so this is a very nice little combo here. And these are natural stats. There's no buffing going on here. Yes, indeed. All right, let's take a quick look at some skills, because it's all about the skills. I hear he's got some good ones. All right, Bunny Hop. Okay, deals low physical damage to one enemy. And then we have Spring in his step. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. Quite interesting. And of course, that very interesting special skill we saw, Bad Fur Day. Deals heavy special damage to one enemy. Applies possession to all enemies. Okay, I was getting a little concerned about there, but it ended really well. So that's kind of useful indeed. Rabbish looks a bit like a pacifist druid covered in amulets, but in truth, all little objects he carries around with him are more like souvenirs from his adventures. Because of his appearance, he's usually underestimated as a warrior, but that's something he uses in his favor. Okay, how sane is he? I guess we're going to find out when we start ranking him up. But first of all, as a cute little bunny like this, he's not really that dangerous, so we need to start feeding him. So let's start going and get him to level 4. Okay, there's his first appearance. He's got a little sickle there. He's nice little amulet there. Looks a little heavy. I think it's kind of okay. I wasn't going to touch your amulet. I was just noticing that it's like you seem to be leaning forward. Is it a little heavy? All right, let's continue to get some skills, starting here. A Touch of Spring. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. 50% chance of applying stun. Okay, that's not so bad. Except, of course, for the 50%. But I'm sure we'll lose that. All right, let's continue to level 10. And another skill. Flash of Light. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. Applies blind. No 50% here. No 50% here. Blindness. Okay, that's good. It's easier to be a warrior and a skilled one if your opponents are blind. Yes. All right, let's continue. Let's get to 15 for another skill. One More Carrot. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy. Applies stamina regeneration to itself. That's not bad. Why don't we just throw that there? Because hopefully that'll be spreading out. Yeah. I'm not really sure what kind of character he is. He does have speed. Light usually has a lot of supporty stuff going on with it. He doesn't seem to have a high power, so I don't think he's going to be a damage dealer. So I'm guessing he's going to be supporty control-y. That's what I'm getting so far from the blindness, the stun, and the stamina regeneration. Let's just see where he goes from here. All right? Well, we know he's going to level 20, of course, because that's where the next skill is. All together now. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy. Applies energy regeneration to all. That is actually what I was just asking for, wasn't it? It does more damage. It's got a 1-round cooldown, but, you know, it gives energy regeneration. See, these are the good supporty ones. That where you actually hit somebody and you do something good. Those are actually very good. unlike Uriel's bodyguard. All right, let's continue. And of course, 25 will have his final form. Solar Strike. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. Applies total blind to one enemy. That's an upgrade of that one. Yes, it is. It's actually less stamina and more damage, too. Does add a cooldown, though. It does add a cooldown. Okay, there he is. An unassuming, druidical type looking dude. Who knows what hides underneath? Is that 2 bracers he's got on his right hand there? Or is that one that's like cracked in half? For a minute there, it looked like he had 2 arms, you know? I'm not sure what's going on with that. All right, let's continue. Of course, we want more skills because that's what it's all about. Dazzling Strike. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy. Applies stun. Okay, it is a 2-round cooldown, but it is a pretty nice hit. I mean, it's heavy damage. That's good. I mean, his power isn't terrible. It's just not anywhere near as good as his speed. So we'll just throw that. I don't want to put that in the first spot. I think it's a heavy hit, though. You never know. I might end up keeping that. So we're going to put it here for the moment. I'm holding out for something special for that first spot. All right, let's continue to level 35. And maybe that special skill. Buckthorns Blessing gives 50% stamina to all allies. That's really interesting. And it's no stamina, too. That's another one that would be very good. Yeah, I gotta keep that. The question is, where do I put it? Yeah, I was just saying how attacks are very nice when they have that. I kind of have to put it there for now. Either that or I count on moving things around, you know? I really like to put a skill like that at the end. See, something like that is, once again, it's like an anti-General Thetes attack. She comes, she takes all your stamina away. His turn comes up. The only thing he can do is this one and give stamina back to his group. This case, 50%. I'm going to put it here on the end, and I'm going to hope that this one comes back, because I like to have certain things in certain positions, you know? In terms of automating, you know, and if it's on defense or something, it doesn't really matter. If it's all stamina is taken away, it's the only skill that can be used anyway, so you know the computer's going to use it. So I'm going to gamble that I'm going to get the other one back. Who knows, maybe I get a better version. I still would like that one back anyway. Total blinds are just so useful. It's even better than a stun or a freeze in many cases, because the individual is actually wasting a turn. So, unless of course it uses a buff, in which case it's very annoying. Alright, let's go to level 40. And next skill. Double Dazzling Strike. Heavy light damage to one enemy applies 2 stuns at a time. Alright, in case the first one is resisted. In other words, this would be something you'd probably use against somebody that's hardened. I don't think this would have any say on somebody who is immune to stun. But this would be if someone is hardened, you're taking 2 shots at it, which is kind of very useful. I'm starting to wonder whether or not I'm going to get anything else. But you know what? This one, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here, replacing the regular stun, just in case, you know, just in case. They have the same cooldown, but just in case something else comes up. You know, I'm kind of hoping something else comes up, frankly. Worst case scenario, I can just get the other stun and put it in the front. And I still have to get that other one back with the total blind, you know. I actually really like that one, so we're going to put that there. Alright, so let's continue. I hope I can fix him in the meantime, right? Level 45. Solar Strike. Alright, that one I'm putting here. I know, I'm holding out hope of getting something for that first spot, and that hope may be unjustified. If I see that other stun roll around, I'm going to put it in the first spot. But I would definitely... I mean, with this, I don't really need this one anymore. With that one on the end, I don't really need it anymore. So this one here, the total blind, I gotta take that. Alright, let's see whether or not my my faith gets me something good. I'm beginning to question that at the moment. All right, so let's get to level 50 and hope we run into something awesome. Okay, go to the light. Deals moderate light damage to all enemies. Applies total blind. My faith has been justified. Yes, it has. Sorry, Bunny Hop. You're out of here. I was really kind of hoping either a group stun, although I didn't think that would happen after we got the double stun. I was really kind of hoping for a group total blind. And we got it. Yes, indeed. And I don't think there's going to be anything else. It would be a nice surprise to get an upgrade, but I think we're pretty much done. And I don't have any problem with that, because I like his skill set. No. That's all I have to say. And finally, level 60. All together now. Right, that's good. It's just that this one is more useful. I mean, this is useful. I'm not saying it isn't useful. It's just that this one is a great, unique type of skill, which is really going to save in certain situations. See, I would be more likely to put him on defense, because everything he has here is very good for messing with the other team. Control, you know what I mean? And having that one on the end is a great defense in case his stamina gets taken away. And it doesn't even have to be a general studies these days, because there are relics that do that. So if it does happen, he gets his stamina back and he gives it back to the rest of the team. Kind of useful, kind of useful. Alright, so that's it. We're level 60, and yeah, I like those skills. I like those skills. Let's take a look at his stats. Okay, again, his power is, it's not horrible, but it's not really what he does. It's not really what he does. His life is pretty good. It's kind of good there. He's kind of chunky there. He's going to take some hits there. Speed is pretty nice. And let's face it, that's where we're going to be putting our ruins anyway, right? Because we want him going. We want him going a lot. So let's just go back and take a look at the skills, the final skills that I selected. Although let's take a quick look, just in case. That was the single target attack that gave the energy regen. That was the stun. I mean, I'll take the double stun, but I mean, this is nice. It's just I don't have any place to put it. One more carrot, stamina regeneration to itself. Yeah, that's it. We got everything. So I honestly don't think you would choose anything else. I think these are the skills you go with. And let's take a look at these skills. All right, the one I have in the first spot is go to the light. Now, why was I holding out for the first spot? It's been my experience that the computer, when it's running your character, will execute the first skill by priority. I noticed that when I go through like automated attacks with my main team, it always seems to want to run that first skill. So that's the reason I like to have the most devastating one there. In case, for instance, I put him on defense, the skill that I want him using first. In his case, this is absolutely it, and I'm really happy it showed up. This is go to the light. Deals moderate light damage to all enemies, applies total blind to all enemies. This means no matter what they try to do against us, they're going to miss. Now, this does not stop them from buffing themselves. This does not stop them from using a skill, even if it's an attack that purges negative status effects from its own team. So that's the downside of it. It could do something, miss, yet purge all negative status effects from the rest of the team, which means the rest of the team is no longer going to be blind. But any creature with total blind that attempts to do something against your team is going to miss. So, very good. Also, very useful in Titan invasions. Unless they change it, which I hope they don't, total blind is the one thing that is always going to work. Even their big old special attack, it's going to miss. Which is the reason you want to have as many guys with total blind as possible. And I am now happy to have 3 of them. Alright, let's look at the next skill. Solar Strike. Deals moderate light damage to one enemy. Applies total blind to one enemy. Very good. Again, group total blind is amazing. Single target total blind can be very useful too. If there's one extremely dangerous individual that you do not want doing bad things to you, you do this. And then they miss. And it's better than a stun in that way because they've actually wasted the skill. Very, very useful indeed. All right, now we have this one. This is a little bit of a new twist here. Double Dazzling Strike. Deals heavy light damage to one enemy. Applies 2 stuns at a time to one enemy. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to have 2 turns of stun. I believe that this means it's going to attempt to apply stun twice. Now, if something is immune to stun, by trait, or by somebody buffing it as well, you can also apply an immunity to stun. This isn't going to do anything. I don't think this is going to have any effect. What this will have an effect is if the individual is hardened, kind of like Rabbish himself, and it has a chance of resisting. This can be more useful if you're talking about a VIP or a Nemesis, where they can have 50% chance of resisting everything. The thing is that really only applies to the first effect. So you apply the first one, it gets resisted. You apply the second one, it's on. So this is much more useful than a regular stun, which is the reason I have no problem saying goodbye to the other one. All right, and then we have this one, Buckthorns Blessing. Gives 50% stamina to all allies. This is really good, and it has multi-purpose. One, the easy one, if a fight's going on for a while and your team is starting to, have stamina issues, including Rabbish himself, he can just do this and give half back. Very useful. This can also be very useful at the beginning of a fight. If Rabbish is your denial, he's really fast, and then you have somebody who takes away your team's stamina, well, he can just give half of it back, because this skill doesn't require any stamina. So that can be very, very useful indeed. So he is very, very useful indeed. Very useful indeed. His skills are very good. I was told he was good, and I should rank him up as soon as I could, and that is exactly what I did, and I'm glad I did. So, yeah, speed. That's what it comes down to. You want him putting down the total blinds. You want him putting down the single target double stun, and of course, restoring stamina. You want him going as much as possible. Total blind is an excellent denial. As I said, the only problem it might be is if the individual buffs themselves, or they do something that will take negative status effects away from the rest of the team. But there's usually a way out of everything. There's just things that can happen, right? So, but this is a very, very useful, and the good thing about it is unless somebody actually gives them some kind of a buff, I don't believe it can be resisted by trait. Now, it could be resisted by if the individual is hardened and they just happen to resist it, but by trait, I don't think anyone is immune to it. So anyway, this is Rabbish. He's very good, and I can't wait to start testing with him. So anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games, because games are fun. See ya.